Hi, this is Burr Stewart, and welcome to part 75 in my continuing series of model railroad videos. Today we're going to mainly be running a Milwaukee Road SD9, which got the fun assignment of dragging some empty ore jennies down from Bellingham to South Seattle for the purposes of helping with the cement industry. I just love the SD9s, and I hope you do too. These operations sometimes take place in big groups and sometimes just a few of us that are playing with trains in my HO scale Burrlington Northern model railroad layout. Bang! And for the rest of the operation, we brought some cars from Interbay down to Stacy Street yard, and you'll see that at the end of the video. So let's get started. I had an out-of-town visitor at the layout, and so I decided to let them run a Milwaukee Extra using this beautiful SD9 locomotive. See, it goes from the sun into the shade and back into the sun across the what we call the Paul Scholes Bridge, because Paul Scholes built it for his famous book on scenery. We have the limestone junction of the Milwaukee Road modeled here. So these are some ore jennies that would have been filled with limestone heading south towards the Lone Star cement plant in South Seattle. The prototype didn't run this operation, but we decided to do it now just for fun. Moving right on into the Burrlington yard, we pass an RS3 used for maintenance purposes. And then a few minutes later, we cruise through the Bayside Yard in Everett. That is one nice SD9 there. Once you trim it down enough, there's nothing to hold it. You'd never know that hillside is covering up a 6x6 post that supports the entire house. And of course, the obligatory squid bridge shot, which we seem to have in every video. Don't ask me why. You may be able to hear the squealing in the background. Very nice. That's from the ISE Squealer we just installed last week. And to the left is the Delta yard. The train itself is going along the low line, which bypasses the Delta yard. A few minutes later, it goes into Mukilteo, where the Everett Junction comes down from the Delta yard. And there's a Department of Defense facility there with the tank cars. But what I really want you to see at the moment is that we've been making progress on the retaining walls for the narrow gauge bridge there. Some chooch walls that Robin installed. And we're also working on the rock outcroppings there. Progress continues. Where did you say you were up there to start, right? Okay, up in one of the stage yards up there? So getting back to the curve, I want you to notice the lighting effect that I created here using an idea from John Armstrong's books. I've got the lights pointed in my face here on the ceiling so that it looks like the sun is shining from the south. This train is heading to the south, and in a minute we'll have a view from the south looking north at the train. See, it's still heading southbound, and it's a totally different lighting effect when the light is behind us, as if it was the sun. Anyway, just wanted you to see that. I think you can hear a little of the squealers in the background too. And now the train is passing a standing train on the other main line that didn't get permission to come into Interbay. But since our train doesn't have to go into Interbay, it's just going to go straight on through. And as you see here, we've passed Interbay and we're heading across the grade crossings toward downtown Seattle. That's one very nice SD9.
I'm on the email.
Nothing wrong with that caboose either. Well, now we're moving into the Stacy Street yard. And I got obsessed with that GP38-2 in the background there. Nothing wrong with it, unless it's a GP35. Oh, I guess so. And now we're approaching Royal Brown. And those boxcars are at a warehouse that did various freight transfer services. I like to see trains go through an S-curve like this from overhead, don't you? Well, this is as far as we got with this Milwaukee Extra, and we parked it on the loop track near the cement plant, and our visiting friend got to run a train the entire length of the railroad. That's the Seattle Intermodal Terminal there on the right side. So back to the Burrlington Northern, we had a cut of cars that needed to be transferred from Interbay over to Stacy Street in Seattle, and we really wanted to show off that gorgeous C636 along with these other Alco engines. So we pulled them out of the engine terminal and we hauled a short cut of cars over to Stacy. This way we could keep the action going. Here they're crossing over from the main line to the yard lead, also called the A-track. Technically, that's the other main line they're moving on to because it's double track south and north of Interbay. It's just in Interbay that we have a single main line. So now we're going to back onto our cars. This is a shot down the ladder with the auto rack terminal on the right, and of course the main yard on the left. We stopped in order to have the brakeman get out and throw the switch. How many times do you do that when you're operating a train? We're very proud of ourselves whenever we remember to do it. Usually a model railroader will just flip the switch in advance, but In a real railroad, you wouldn't be able to do that. Uh-oh, get ready for the bang. Here it comes. Bang! In this particular instance, it didn't couple up the first time, so we had to come back. See, he pulled away and the car didn't come with him. So we had to figure out first how to reverse the consist. Nope, that's not it. I don't mind admiring the engine though. It's one of the new Bowser RS3s. Now we get to come in for another bang. Bang! Now this time I checked to make sure it had coupled. There we go. I really like those MTC Santa Fe reefers, the SFRC reefers. They probably didn't spend much time up in the Seattle area, but surely a few of them did. All these cars are destined for different industries in the South Seattle area. That depressed center flat car is going to the Westinghouse plant where they refurbished transformers. The coal's probably going to the Lone Star cement plant.
Something wrong the way you manage these projects. I don't know if it's... I'd really like to know more about that, because maybe if they're just pushing the boundaries of technology much farther. I think there's some of that. I think you've got all the integration of all the suppliers. Well, yeah, that's the problem that I don't think Boeing has really ever dealt with adequately in these studies of the 787 right. Well, you know, that's a classic thing. You got a tolerance band, somebody's on the high end, somebody's on the low end, it's not going to fit together. Yeah, but there are ways to do it. There are ways to do it. That's actually not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's a management problem. It doesn't come to but it still goes to the total issue. It does. It'd be very interesting to hear. I've never heard a really thoughtful...
And now we're arriving in Stacy Street yard. And we've been told to drop the train on yard 4. So that involves a nice S-curve there. Number 6 turnouts. No big deal. That's your last chance to enjoy those engines. We'll go to the other end of the train and watch it come to its final resting place for the moment. The CB&Q Jeep there has its locomotive card sticking out. Sorry about that. I need to reprogram that engine for some reason, and I left it on the layout with a card telling me to do something about it. And that brings us to the end of another video in this series of operations videos. I hope you've enjoyed it, and you'll look at the other videos in my channel. In the meantime, this is Burr Stewart wishing you much fun with trains.